What's up, guys? Back with another crit video, and yeah, I actually just found this in my Adobe Creative folder, and I had cut it most of the way together and then put it aside, and then well, then we bought a house, and you know, world got kind of flipped upside down, did some remodeling. Anyway, long story short, I forgot about this video that I had it. So for starters, this is going to be a pretty lengthy little video here. We are going to let the whole thing run. It's 30 minutes. This is a Cat 3 video. And man, I gotta tell you, I have been really excited about a channel I just found. So hold on, let me get everything set up here. So this is a Cat 3 video. This is down in Tucson, Arizona. This was on Musselman Honda circuit down in Tucson, Arizona. This is a awesome little course. It's like mainly for go-karts, excuse me. They do street bikes as well as car days, HPDE days and stuff like that. And it's really cool that they let us use this for crit racing. Now, the significance of this video, and I think the reason that it's important I post it, is this year, for everybody in Arizona, or if you're thinking about coming out to AZ or whatever, the state championship crit race is on this course. I don't know if it'd be this direction. They have like little optional cutouts and stuff, but it's on this course. So the state championship crit's here. So this is a cool video to kind of get your bearings on the course itself. Okay, so that's set. I have been, so wait, let me back up. So this race was in April. Let me pull it up. There'll be a link right down below. If you guys want to pause it, click the link. I'll have it in the description, but I need to familiarize myself here. This was a while ago. This was before summer. Cold, rainy day. This was a race that I almost did not do. I drove all the way down to Tucson. It was like blowing wind, cold rain. Like I was in and out of the truck like multiple times, like, nah, it's gonna be too slick, it's gonna be too sketchy. Really, it wasn't the cold and the rain, it was like the course conditions. Like I really thought there was gonna be a big crash because the asphalt here is, well, you can see it's like, it's not very porous. It's very smooth. There's a lot of rubber and there's a lot of like oil laid down. Like the go-karts are 2 strokes, which means they burn gas and oil, for those of you that don't understand what 2-stroke is. They burn at the same time. So their exhaust fumes have oil in them, and that just falls down on the track. So then when it rains, you get this really greasy situation. And it was raining just enough to make it greasy, not enough to like rinse that crap off. Yeah, so I almost didn't race, and it was a big field of Cat 3s. This is Cat 3 only, I believe. Sorry guys, I'm looking for the race right now. Avondale. It was the last crit of the season, I know that. Our seasons are so small here. I'm gonna talk about a channel, and I'm gonna link the channel down below because I like what this YouTube channel is doing, and I just discovered him. I know it's hard to get discovered on YouTube. So I'm gonna link a channel down below and we'll talk about it here. Sorry guys, so here I'm just kind of sitting in, trying to conserve power, kind of rolling back to the back out of these sharp corners, easing into the power, trying to keep my power spikes pretty low. I realized right away that, I didn't realize right away, but I kind of got the gist that there wasn't going to be a break here. There's a big headwind on the back straightaway. Here it is. Okay, so today's the 19th of November, 2018. This race was March 10th of 2018. So it was in March. Normalized power, well, Strava has weighted average power at 293, average power 275. This was just a 30-minute race. Yeah, so I'll put the link in the description below of the ride so you can see that. and get an understanding of where it is in the world. I'll take a little, put together a little tack here. I think Tony just got done, so I thought a little counterattack would be in order, and really it was cold and I just wanted to get warmer. I was just like, I need to make an effort. I like making an early effort in these just to see who's who. And I'm like looking back, like who can do what. And this gentleman here for Bicycle Ranch runs me down. He's got two teammates in the group. So it's in his favor to keep together. But so what we're going to talk about is just the difference in, you know, these little amateur races. Like this will be my second year as a Cat 3 coming up. And when I say second year, I mean like, I don't feel like a year for me is the same as a year for somebody in like Northern California. And I say that because I just found this really cool channel, NorCal Cycling. And man, watching them and watching how many races he has in a season, like checking all that out. NorCal Cycling videos. I'll put a link in the description below. He's got like 3,000 subscribers and he's Cat 1, I think. He might even be a pro. I don't know, but he's like, I don't know the guy's name yet, but super strong, very informational. I like the way he edits his videos and cuts them. They're clean. And yeah, anyway, I've been watching this guy's channel and watching how the pros and Cat 1 guys do it. And, you know, I've seen Cat 1 videos. I've seen, you know, Nation's #1 beast and his helmet cam and showing us how great he is. But to have a Cat 1 like this, or a pro, whatever NorCal Cycling videos is, and then have him like humbly explain what's going on the screen, and then be able to lay out like crazy amounts of power. Like, it's insane. And the strategy and how fast those races are, like, it's a total different ball game. Like, we are just and you watch this video, and if you're a Cat 3 out there, you understand like this is hard to us. But then you go look at that pros videos, go look at NorCal Cycling, like it's a different level of hard, you know? Like that video got dropped in that Pro 123, the Hungry Dog video with McNulty. That was a taste of what it's like to race at that level. And to have like, I couldn't imagine having a whole, you know, 30 guys that are on that same level as the 5 guys in that Pro 123, the 5 pros and the 1, you know, or 2, 3 Cat 1s. To have a whole race full of them would just be awesome. So hopefully someday I can get there. But that's the name of the channel, Cycling Virgin. You know, I'm relatively new to this, and I was saying our seasons are very short. So, you know, this is my second year as a Cat 3, but I think I only did 6 races or so in a season, and that's it. So my experience, what I'm gaining as far as experience, is so much smaller than these guys in California. And I think that's why the racer base out there is so much, I'm not gonna say they're stronger. We produce a lot of strong athletes, but there's a larger pool of stronger riders, you know, doing it, because you can really make it your hobby and do it weekly, you know, every weekend for the majority of the year, really. You know, we're here, we have this small little window. Like this was the last race of the year and it was in March. And yeah, the weather was bad here, but March is a great month to be in Arizona. The days are awesome, the mornings are nice. And I don't know why, we just don't have people putting together the type of events and the type of like, you know, driveway series events that I see on the internet. So if you're out there listening and you can do that in Arizona, make it happen. We'll support it. I'll put it all over the internet. I'll get all my friends to do the same, and let's get more races out in Arizona. So anyway, this Cat 3 race, to break it down for you, I had a couple teammates, a couple breaks tried to go away, and you know, there was enough teams that it was like it was hard to get a breakaway with all the teams represented, basically. So I kind of saw that. I think I'd take one more shot at bridging up to a break in some point here, but otherwise I'm just conserving. And my finish on this race, yeah, I kicked myself, but I didn't have it today. I just didn't feel great. And yeah, I mean, I'm not making excuses. Didn't have it. But it was a really fun course, and we kept it clean. Like, I was super just happy that nobody went down. And then Brendan and Bud and Tony, I believe, stuck around for the, I'm not sure if they all did, but a few of the guys stuck around for the race that was later in the evening, and that was the 2-3 race. And in that race, I guess there was some serious crashes because the rain kind of continued, and then it started drizzling a little more. And then you got the 2-3 guys out there, and yeah, I left after this because it was, I was just not feeling it. I wasn't feeling the weather. I was wearing, you know, knee warmers, and like, yeah, you see here, rain on the camera, and yeah, I took off after this. The next race was like 2 or 3 hours later, and there were some big crashes. So glad we got through this race clean. Everybody raced really well. We didn't do anything too crazy. A lot of youngsters in this race. Every time you go down to Tucson, it's pretty cool to see all the younger kids. There's a really good developmental team down there, a couple of them, and they always come out to do these crits. And yeah, they're good riders. Yeah, so my goal here was just to be near enough toward the front that a split wouldn't happen. I'm always worried about splits in these Cat 3s because there's always a discrepancy of like fitness, and you know, you don't want to, I don't want to come across like a huge gap. So keeping close enough, eye on the front while trying to just conserve energy is the name of the game for me in this race. And you can kind of watch a bunch of things unfold here. And this kid right here, the big legs, does a really good job of just hanging out. So I put up a video 2 videos ago now, I think, and it was how I train, how I build fitness. To touch on that a little bit deeper, because some people are like kind of freaking out about what I was saying. My goal of saying, look, I don't want a coach, I don't need a coach. Like, when I say that, it's to motivate newer people just to ride their bikes really hard and not focus on the really finite details of having a coach and training zones and building base and working on zone 2 for a certain period of time, watching your fatigue levels. You know, what I'm trying to do about these videos and this channel is all about is, I'm not an expert. Some of you think I am. Believe it or not, I'm not. And I'm new, and all I'm doing is sharing my experiences. And in my experience, I've seen new people, like, I'm talking like 6 months into cycling, like, get a coach. And then for the next 2 years, 3 years, and I know there's people like this, I know of people like this in our area. Then they go like 3 years with this coach, and the improvements they've made are so little. Like, they're so small, and like, just the general fitness they've built is just not, I don't know, for the amount of fun they're not having, the amount of fitness they've built doesn't make me go, man, I should have had a coach for the last 2 years, you know? Whereas if you're like, I think I'm coming into the perfect, like, maybe not this year, but you know, next year, let's say, I'm gonna start plateauing as far as like the gains and the fitness that I feel. Like, we all will, and there are people that just sit at that plateau. I think once you hit that plateau with just hard riding and just like running around like a chicken with your head cut off like I do, that's when that coach can make the difference. I think, you know, that's when hitting those proper zones, creating a structured year based around a race season or a fondo or an event you want to do, I think that's where that can come into play. But my goal of the last video was to, and my goal of this whole channel really, is to talk to people that are brand new, that are just getting into cycling, you know, because that's all I can speak to, because I was just there. I was just a brand new cyclist. I haven't been doing this for 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, like a lot of people have. So talking to those newer people, what I'm trying to say is just go out and just ride your bike hard. Like, you know, just ride it hard, you know, just listen to your body. If you ride your bike hard, then you're tired, then rest, Do that for a while. Start adapting, let your body start making adaptations to what's going on. Get a fit with a fitter, but taking on a coach and starting the zone process and stuff, I think that's something you wait a couple years to do. In my case, it'll be, if I do it, it'll be for next year. That's not to say, now I'm gonna talk a little more in detail, because the last video on how I build fitness came off as being a little Neanderthalish towards what I do. Don't get me wrong. I look at my fitness numbers. I look at my fatigue numbers. I look at really fitness and fatigue are the two. The form numbers don't really matter to me too much, but fitness and fatigue. And I do have a structured plan, and I do have, this is something I've made up, my own plan, but I do have a build and a rest process. And if you go back and look at my Strava, you can see the break I took and where I took it this year as opposed to the previous years, because I'm trying to build the fitness at the right time this year, which is the first time I've ever tried this. I've always had fitness right as crit season ends in Arizona. I've always had like the most fitness I've ever had for the year, and the races are already over. So I'm trying to restructure that, A, and B, I always build with steps. I'm a day on, day off guy, so I'll ride hard, and then my days off could be an easy ride, which I didn't specify. When I say day off, I mean it could be that it could be zone 1 even to zone 2. And before I go any further, because this is for, my channel is for new people, when we talk zones, I guess I'll break it down a little bit for people that are brand new, which there's some of you. We're talking about a power meter on your bike. So first of all, one of the basic things, I guess one of the points that I should have made really early was, no matter what your level, if you're going to get into this for the long run, put a power meter on your bike ASAP. It needs to be the first thing you put on your bike. You need to start logging things away. Even if you're not going to touch that information, you need to start building a data base. And my suggestion is to pick a power meter that you're going to be consistent with for the rest of your life on the bike. Don't jump around from power meter to power meter, because they will read slightly different. Shane Miller, who's one of the channels that I advocate for in my little sidebar there, Shane Miller has great videos on accuracy and power meters. And even though everybody says there's the most accurate, there's always a slight variance. And if you jump from power meter to power meter, and then, it's gonna skew things. So anyway, please, guys, get a power meter as soon as you can. Once you do, then you're gonna do, which I'm sure you've heard, it's called the Functional Threshold Power Test, FTP test. It can be done in 20 minutes. There's new things out where they say you can do it in 5, I think, new algorithms. Really, it should be an hour, but we do it in 20 minutes because 20 minutes is easier. So you go find a 20-minute effort, you warm up, then you go as hard as you can for 20 minutes. That gives you a number. You subtract 5% off that number, that's your functional threshold power. Once you have your FTP and you put that into like Strava or Training Peaks or something like that, it's gonna give you zones based on that functional threshold power. You can change those zones on your own, but you want it to kind of do it automatically. It's a math problem. And a coach can change those zones too for you based on other things. There's new tests out now to test where your body behaves better. Are you better at flushing lactate? Are you better 2-minute power, 5-minute power guy? So on and so forth. But we're talking just the basics and what I know and what I do. So functional threshold power, I said in the previous video, I'm sitting about 315 right now. I think. I haven't done a really accurate test lately. It's something you should test regularly as you're training, but it might not fit with your training plan based on that month. So anyway, so about 315. So you plug in 315, then you get your zones. And zone 1's easier than, say, zone 5. So when I say zone 11, I'm just making a joke about zones. And, there's really no zone 11. I just like the movie Spinal Tap, and their amps go to 11. My zone goes to 11. So that's all that is for people that were messaging me like, there's no zone 11. I know there's no zone 11. Okay? Chill out. So I do play with zone power, and my days off, going back to that, I will have a day off, and that's just sitting in a zone 1 or zone 2, which is a recovery ride, which still builds base. Zone 2 is kind of a base builder type thing, but just getting out, spinning the legs, just, you know, that's a day off. So I don't really bring you those rides too much. I brought you one, and it was a vlog, and I didn't even put the power up, where I was just riding around talking to the camera. So I do that stuff. I have a plan. You know, I've started training now. If you go look at my training for, shoot, when I start October, I'd have to look. I can look right here. Training calendar. I should do this one time for you guys with screen capture, and I can kind of show you what I look at, which I might do if you guys want more of this. Remember, this is coming from a Cat 3, not an expert, but there's different levels, right? Like if you just, what I feel like my channel's for is for that person who's brand new, and I'm just trying to help you get to the next step. And then once you're kind of where I am, then I'm looking at guys like even Vegan Cyclist, who has it way more figured out than me, and NorCal Cycling, this channel I just found, who this dude is insanely strong, you know, and he's starting to put up his little training plan videos, and he should probably do more. And there's even, I hate to say it, I don't like promoting any products on this channel that I haven't used before, but the Training Peaks, is it Training Peaks? There's a podcast that they put up on YouTube, I believe it's Training Peaks, and there's like a dude in a studio, and they do some crit breakdown videos, and they do some other stuff. There's some more knowledgeable people, and they're sharing their experiences, and that's the next step, you know. After you get this power meter and you've logged away 2 or 3 years worth of riding, then you're going to want to reach out to someone above my knowledge base, and these are the places. And yeah, don't get it mistaken, I'm just trying to help you guys get through that first Cat 5, Cat 4 into the Cat 3s here. As you see on my screen, this is what I'm doing, and I'm kind of telling you what I'm doing now, moving into the second year Cat 3. And anyway, hopefully it helps. But yeah, so what I can do is I can put up right here a little graph of kind of my years. This is my, from the start, here I'm gonna pop it up on the screen. All right, so from the start, you can see the peaks and valleys. The orange dots are where I raced, year 1, year 2, year 3's coming up. So I'm at a 44 now. Last year I raced at a 33. The previous year I raced at a 38 because I would build at the wrong time. So I took my break early this year, and now I'm building for crit season. And yes, I'm building base, and yes, I'm building those zone 2s, and you see the Swirl Lake loops where I'm sitting at tempo, zone 3-ish, for a long period of time. And yeah, in the gainy videos, I'll still throw it up to 1,000 watts, but I'm not going 100%. That's just a, you know, a quick little boom, hit some effort, go. It's not 100%. So yeah, there is a little deeper thought than just I go out and just chase people around and bitch and moan when people don't take pulls. There is more to what I'm doing. Hopefully it works. If I feel if I feel better, I'll let you guys know for sure. But my plan this year was just to take that break in the summer, which people were like, what are you doing? It's so nice out. Look, I know it's nice out. I wanted to ride, but I need to take, your body's got to kind of reset. Like if you look right now, I just checked out, I don't know, I think he's taking a break because it's his off season. But the cycling, NorCal Cycling videos. What is that guy's name? I just followed him on Strava. Anyway, he hasn't ridden for a few weeks or a month or something. He's like taking it off, you know, like he's resetting, reflipping the switch. And I think there's something to that. I should have probably ridden really easy through those, through that month and a half. I should have been like zone 1, zone 2, no more if I was really smart. But at the same time, I don't have all of my day all of my week to devote to to just training. I wish I did, but I don't. So it's nice to take a little break in general from training and focus on a few other things in life as well. But anyway, that's what I did. So now I'm starting that arc up again. My fitness is at like a 44. My fatigue is through the roof because I've just built this like really kind of quick ramp up. I would have liked to have ramped up, not as quick, but again, that's just bad planning on my part. But I'm hoping I'm going to keep this ramp up. First race is end of January. So like the beginning of January, first weekend of January, I'm going to start backing out a little bit, start bringing the fatigue down while trying to still maintain the same fitness, but bring that fatigue down. And then right before the race, do like maybe like a little snappy effort, just a little opener, and then race. That's kind of the general idea that I have. And like I said, maybe next year I get a coach. I don't know. But for now, that's what I'm doing. And here we go. This race is starting to get a little strung out now. People are starting to open the throttle up. And as you see, I haven't really been watching the screen, to be honest with you, but there's some attacks going. There's some people bridging over, pulling things back. Yeah. How many minutes we got left? 2 minutes? So hopefully that gives you a little more insight into what I'm doing. So the takeaways here would be for the new people. Again, I'm only speaking to new people. If you have a coach, or you're a Cat 1 or you're a Cat 2 and you know more than me, then like hopefully I'm just entertaining, because obviously you're not going to learn anything from me. But for the new people, get a power meter, just start logging that data away. So you can have that little graph that I put up on the screen there, so you can see what you've done, where you're at, kind of just your progression in general. Yeah, just because I had, more fitness a year ago or in 2017 than I actually made in 2018, doesn't mean that I was stronger. I'm stronger now than I was in 2017. And you can go back and you can look at segments and you can look at things. And Strava's, what is it, $4 a month for the premium service to have that? Just do the premium, Who knows what the future holds, but for now, so I'm doing, this is it, guys, right here. It's the last lap. So I decide to go for it in the last corner and it doesn't work out. Yeah. No, these two kids just dropped me. So my thought there was, it came up quick. My thought there was, I want to get in the first, or that corner first. I didn't want to be in a crash. And I went as hard as I could, and then it didn't work out. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me rant. Like, subscribe. We'll talk to you next time.